Hello everyone, this is Antony Carpen. I'm here at Relevant Records in Cambridge, just off Mill Road. Lovely lazy Sunday afternoon. I thought I'd make some videos all about the Greater Cambridge City Deal. Now this one is all about what I think the City Deal has got wrong over the past year or so, because it launched just over a year ago, having had the sign-off from the Deputy Prime Minister of all people, having agreed a sum of up to £500 million to help improve Cambridge's infrastructure, and it's infrastructure that's much needed. One of my views is if the Cambridge City Deal cannot work for a road like this one, Mill Road, then it's not going to work for anybody. So what have they got wrong? Well, my feeling was that they got things wrong from the very, very start by not having a big outreach event, basically identifying what all of the issues and the concerns were and just mapping out the city. What is the baseline that we're starting with? It also would have been a very good opportunity to get as many people involved from the very start in a constructive manner. It was something that I tried to do with Be the Change Cambridge in very early 2015, and one of the things that we proved with that was the open space model that we had was one that worked. Personally, I feel it was such a shame that it was not a model that the City Deal authorities decided that they could run with in terms of getting people involved. Now, at the very start of the City Deal processes, I went along to the first shadow board meeting and filmed the item all about the communication strategy. Have a listen to what was said.
Some of the issues obviously make sure that the meetings, the first one is public, that we communicate that, and that we do it in a timely fashion, and that the democratic processes seem to be done properly, and people have not only the ability to engage in it, but the ability to engage in the various things that the City Deal will be delivering on the ground. We know that we have all the traditional methods of communication that we have, but also if you look across, there's Puffle's friend, I'm not saying Puffles, but Puffle's friend over here, behind me, Richard Taylor. So we have to take into account the needs of people blogging, social media, and making sure that we encourage that and that we engage with that in the best way, so they can see what we're doing.
Now, as you can see, Mr. Miller clearly remembers the name of my dragon fairy, but not the name of myself, which speaks volumes for Puffles. But the real point is, ever since then, us community media types have not had a sit-down meeting with anyone from the City Deal to ask about how we can support them in terms of just getting the wider community involved in particular in the consultations that happened. What we've had since then are a series of, if I can call them, piecemeal consultations, which unfortunately for the whole programme has done little other than to raise huge amounts of opposition, certainly significantly more than I've seen in recent years. We had over 200 people coming along to meetings around Histon Road and Milton Road and the proposals there. Again, we had a similar number turning up on the Westfields and the proposed bus routes there. And then finally, we've got more concern on the southern fringes around the Nine Wells Nature Reserve. No one's really come out with a vision or a strategy of what they want the City Deal to achieve. What does success look like? And this is where I feel that Be the Change Cambridge style event, an open space event, could have, saved a lot of grief and saved a lot of hassle by getting people to shape that vision and to shape that strategy before they decided on consulting on a whole series of bus routes. It was interesting to see the likes of Edward Lee with Smarter Cambridge Transport, and even Councillor Francis Burkitt with his Cambridge Bold ideas coming forward independently. I can't help but feel having an open space session which would have allowed everyone to contribute their ideas would have been significantly beneficial, because then it would have allowed the wider community to have coalesced around some of the more constructive ideas about how to deal with our city's transport and infrastructure problems, without the starting point being, here is a scheme, do you like it? Rather, it should have been, can we scope the problems, and then having collectively scoped the problems together, see what solutions we can find to overcome them. Because many people have been pleasantly surprised, in particular, at the ideas around the smart traffic management that Edward Lee and the Smarter Cambridge Transport scheme came up with. And again, the further proposals by the Cambridge cycling campaign. Often I feel misinterpreted by those in the motoring lobby, where for me all too often it's presented as cyclist versus motorist, when actually, if you ask most cyclists, actually what they want is routes away from motorised traffic. This is why I think schemes such as the Chisholm Trail, this is the north-south cycle route linking basically Cambridge Regional College and Cambridge United Football Club in the north all the way down to Adam Brooks Hospital in the south, could be really, really successful. And I think that the north-south cycle route will be significantly more successful than the official predictions say it will be. The reason being is I think they will significantly underestimate, in particular, the number of young people from the northern villages in the north of Cambridge who travel all the way through to get to Hills Road and Long Road sixth form colleges. Perhaps in the same way, all of those students who on our side of town here in Mill Road and to the south of it, who have to travel to Cambridge Regional College, I think there will be a significant increase in the number of people who will be cycling down that north-south cycle route away from the car traffic, and hopefully we will see significantly reduced motor traffic as well as bicycle traffic on the main roads such as Hills Road and Regent Street as a result. And that's before I've even mentioned the potential health benefits. So it'll be interesting to see over the next 12 months or so to see whether the systems and processes improve. It's certainly a point that I'm going to be continually making to the City Deal board, because I feel that they don't feel there's that much flexibility in the model and the contract that they've signed with central government, whereas I think actually there might be a lot more leeway than they think there is.